It's your boy Fist in his house, bringing another great edition of Call of Duty for me to you, because that's what I do. I'm so glad to be back, and I want to break down Call of Duty Ghosts for me to you, because that's what I love to do. I love first-person shooters. I love a good first-person shooter. I love Call of Duty, I'm a person that's going to tell you the real deal on it. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. I don't work for Activision. I'm not the fence rider on YouTube. If you want to truly hear my opinions about other YouTubers and how they represent themselves about Call of Duty or first-person shooters in general, I was gone for about 6 days, and you can see how I feel on the Bad Kids podcast in the link description below. But I'm going to cover it to the new people who come to my channel and all the new people that are going to be here for Ghost. Because I know last year I gained about 20,000 subscribers through Call of Duty Black Ops 2. And, I like to see, I'm going to break it down for you. On YouTube, you have a list of people, and I cover this way more in depth in the podcast. You want to go over there and check that out. I'll leave the link, like I said. But on YouTube, we have a social specific categories of how people cover Call of Duty. And you have your Jolly Bees and your K Martins. Those are the people who basically work for Activision. Their YouTube channels have been sold out for the strictly purpose of, working for Activision. So they're always gonna never ever say anything bad about the game. They're gonna have a glass ceiling, and you're never gonna get the truth out of those channels. Then you have other people who regurgitate PC information, meaning personal computer, because they break down the information that's within the code of the game, and they regurgitate that information and they shoot at the wall. And then you have people who copy other people's information and make it their own. So there's a lot of that out there. But the information that you're going to get here on this channel is truly actualized information, meaning that I go through and test everything in the game in real time, so when you see it on my channel, you can use it yourself and it will work. Not something somebody say, oh, this weapon's the best weapon, but never even used it. I mean, it's just crazy to me. So I've been seeing a lot of information about Ghosts, and I've been away for 6 days, and I talked to some of the developers in I asked my own questions. Because I was looking back at when I was playing Battlefield 4 and the animations in that game, I wasn't too happy with. But the fact that we see vaulting and sliding and leaning that are they're basically from Battlefield series. So when I look at this stuff and I see the cons to it, the stuff that I don't like about it in Battlefield, the fact that when you vault, every time you have to go over something, you're always vaulting, no matter what. It's never an animation where you go to climb with your hands. And this is the stuff that I like in Call of Duty, but I hate in Battlefield. So I talked to one of the developers, Volker, and you'll see it here in this tweet, that he said the animations are different. So thank God for that. That would be tragic that they would copy a Battlefield vaulting and there would be no climb animation. So we could be thankful about that. Definitely on this channel, you're going to get a lot of stuff that a lot of people will not be happy with or bitch about it because it's not politically correct. I don't know where it comes from. But here's my thinking, and I covered this in the podcast too, and I want to make this clear right now, is that, there's a story about, we were talking about XCALL, and I'm relating that right now. If I post something in regards to, let's say, everybody says, well, don't post that, it's broken, and I don't want everybody using it. Well, here's the thing. We've been playing Call of Duty for 8 generations now. So if I see something that is overpowered or over the top or that is probably overused and other people won't use it because they think it's politically incorrect to use it, I'm going to post those things because I think it's important that if you don't post those things, then developers will never think that there's nothing wrong with their game. You have to constantly, and that's the thing about my channel. You have to be constantly challenging the developers to make sure that the game is balanced. And they're not going to know this because they never beta test this, with the public, and they never ask for feedback in real time to correct it. So you have to do these things for the next version. Unfortunately, they don't take some of the good ideas and carry them over into the next version, like the jump from Black Ops 2 with the legs open. And those are the things that baffle me. But in this channel, you're going to hear you're going to hear stuff like that. You're going to see videos like that. And you're going to get tidbits you will never get anywhere else, because there's people that they just don't need to do that because their whole intentions is to make money off their videos. I was here before money. I'm not just like going to turn off my, because I don't make nothing anyway. So the point is, it's it's irrelevant regardless of it either way. I know irregardless is not a word, but I threw it in there. So anyways, moving right along. One of the other things that I thought was very interesting in Call of Duty Ghosts was the fact that when I was reading on CallDuty.com, is that when you slide, you can shoot while you're sliding. And the one thing that I don't think people understand is when you dolphin dive, you can dolphin dive left or you can dolphin dive right. So it's not just dolphin dive and you're stuck into a straight dolphin dive. And you're saying, well, how does that pertain to Call of Duty Ghosts? Well, in sliding, you could slide left or you could slide right. But the difference now in Call of Duty Ghosts is that you could slide around a corner and shoot while in that animation. So think about that. Sliding around corners with pistols and shooting sliding. I don't know really how this is going to work, because there's a lot of people who are not going to get this. They're not going to understand that, but you're going to see that actualized on my channel, because I'm going to experiment with that extremely, very much so. Another couple tidbits that I want to touch on Call of Duty Ghosts that is irrelevant now or not relevant is the fact that they took out theater mode. So a lot of people are not going to be able to look at gameplay after the game to understand where people were at, things of that nature. The maturation process of the maps are going to be a little bit slower of learning, because there's people that are less looking at theater mode to find out, okay, in this angle, this is where this guy was coming from, and therefore, so these are little things that you're going to get on this channel that you're not going to get anywhere else. In the very first couple of days, I'm going to exploit a lot of things. There are perks that are redundant, meaning they're in the same slot, but if you combination them with a certain way of playing the game, then they don't need to be used. And I'll have to explain this. Some people are not going to get this. This Pick 10 perk system is going to help you, and I'm going to go over it, and it's going to make a lot more sense. This game has a lot of shortcuts, and if you're not a true Call of Duty fan, you're not going to see that. The last couple of things that I want to carry over to the Fist 2 channel that are concerning me is the fact that pre-orders are down 300,000 on the Xbox 360. Now, I'm not really concerned with the Xbox One anymore, because of the simple fact is that there's no difference between servers for each game. The difference is the graphics and the controllers. Now, you might have your hardcore players might stay on the Xbox 360 because of the SCUF controllers, because they can't use the jump button or the paddle. It doesn't matter anyway, because the jump is irrelevant at this time and as we speak. But I'm going to cover more of this information on my Fist 2 channel. I want to talk about casual players and league play not being in the game. I hope you enjoyed this video and it was very informational. Subscribe to this channel, because you're going to find the most intricate news here Spread the word. Until next time, it's your boy Fist, and I'm glad to be back. Peace. I'm out.